This is Yakkin with Nick, guys, and today we're yakking with Nash. Can we, this is what I wanted to ask you, and we can keep going if you're okay with. How do you want to be introduced? Who are you? Do you want to say you're?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Music
yeah,
name,
I guess
or?
just say Nash.TXT.
Not
That's like
Nash.TXT.
Yep.
It's TXT.
Yeah, but I usually say Nash.TXT. But
Okay.
that's like I have it like spelled out on my Instagram. Like that's my tag is like spelled out phonetically.
If you guys want to see Nash, then what's your Instagram?
At
Handle.
Nash. Then the word text. Then
Yeah, I love
spelled
that.
out. Yeah.
Nash.dot.txt.
Right.
I was like, oh, you clever. I thought that was funny the first time I read it. But Nash is joining me live in studio. Last time with
here in Palm Springs, California.
yeah.
Live.
Yep. Yeah. We're out in RL, Oregon. Did you know that?
RL?
Nash is from like PD area.
Yeah.
And there's like PD and RL.
What's RL?
It's the old train station that used to be here, but it's gone a long time ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that like a region? Like it's its own city?
I don't know. That's what I've heard. One time it was on the weather app, so I know it's real.
Weird.
Because I typed in RL. It's like spelled out like PD, but it's like ARELL.
This place is just like off the grid. Like who cares?
Yeah, nobody knows what it's called. You're not going to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Nash is here with me. We got a couple people. I won't shout them out because
we got LeBron James and
we didn't want to say anything, but he said it was cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, LeBron. But I think I said last episode that we're going to have a young musician and that's what we're doing today. Because Nash recently, you put out we call it an EP?
Yeah.
An extended play.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, EP is kind of a weird term just because it's like, so it's extended play, so you'd think it'd be like long, but it's usually supposed to be just like a couple songs. But yeah. I kind of called it like a mini album.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, just because it's 4 songs. I don't know.
You get to call it what you want because you made it, right?
Yeah.
So you put a mini album called Psychic Prelude.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. I liked it. I was like, dang, because I know you've been doing. You put out another record before that.
Yeah, it was a single. It was called Sensory Deprivation. Yeah.
Okay, so you've been doing like. That's what we want to talk to you about. If you go to gosh, I forgot the link. Let me keep talking, unless you know your Bandcamp.
It should be Nash.TXT.bandcamp.com. So there's no, or Nash.TXT.bandcamp.com.
Cool. Yeah. And I guess I should say I've known Nash for like, jeez, how long has it been?
I don't know.
How long have you been going to Kings Valley?
Since like 4th grade.
Oh my goodness.
But I don't know if I knew you in 4th grade.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not until because I was in 6th grade when you were in 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a long time.
Yes.
It's a long time. But I love Nash. He's been one of my favorite people to watch. And when you, I don't know, you're a funny dude.
Thanks.
And you like, I don't know. I don't know when you started like getting to the idea to make stuff, but we were, I don't know, we've always been like kind of like having ideas. There's a few people in like in the circle.
Yeah.
We're like, we want to make skits. We want to do something, you know?
Right. Well, because like that's ever since I was like a little kid, like all I wanted to do was just like make movies and make music and just create like media that people can see and laugh at and enjoy, right? And I think going into high school and middle school, I see like because when you're like when I was a little kid, I was like wanting to make movies. Like I would go and take like my little Sonic the Hedgehog like stuffed animals and like voice them and be like, oh, I'm gonna fight you, and like I have these videos like on my computer somewhere.
That's cool.
Where I just sound like a little girl and I did like editing stuff like I like did the jump cuts and but like none of my friends were into that but yeah, like once we got older we kind of found some more creative people
to
do all our our little skits and stuff that never really saw the light of day.
I know. It was too bad. We had a thing going, like the Kings Valley Media or film group or whatever it was. I don't remember whatever happened.
Yeah,
to
we
that,
had like a Facebook page and Instagram, but we didn't have anything else.
Never happened.
It wasn't
Brady's
really
like, I don't even know, dude. He was part of it too.
Yeah. I remember the whole time, like, we were, like, coming up with, we, like, wrote scripts and, like, had all these seeds, and Brady's like, dude, just don't even tell me what the script's about, and just, I'll act in it. Because Brady's, like, a method actor.
He just jumps in.
It's on that Jared Leto
it's
stuff,
gold.
dude. Yeah. He's yellow suit guy. Yellow skin suit guy. Yeah.
That's right. We did make a video, not with Nash, but, I guess it wasn't even, I was, like, involved, but it wasn't my project. It was Brady and, bunch of people's project. What was it? It was Scrolls. Yeah,
dude, Scrolls is the best.
Yeah,
classic.
I think I posted it once. I'll link it.
I think Jack's put it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's up.
It's up there. It's
it's so golden. I put it up like a year ago, and one of my friends listened to it. Somebody listened to the show, and he thought it was funny, but he's like, I don't know, because he's from Romania, but he's living in the UK. He's like, I don't know if I get it. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody gets it. Like, it's so weird. Like, because I didn't you guys do it for like a French project, like for French class? So like half of it's in French, and like it's just so like schizophrenic. I love it though.
Yeah, but anyway, so we've had ideas, and I've always known like Nash is gonna go places because he got that excitement about stuff.
Yeah, I'm super passionate.
Yeah. And I was like excited when you put out Psychic Prelude. And I was like, dang, here it is. Here's the beginning. Even maybe not the beginning.
Well, that's why I named it that, because it's like the prelude to the rest of my stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, just if like it's okay if I get a little deep on like what the record's about, because it's like it's not like a really like blatant concept record, but it's definitely like it definitely has a theme where like a couple times throughout the album I mentioned the word psychic, and to me, like, obviously a psychic person is someone who can tell the future, but the kind of meaning and symbolism that I put to it was kind of one thing that I kind of like deal with a lot is paranoia about things. Like, I'm super paranoid just about like everything I do. I always just like in my head play out every outcome that would happen in any situation, and so it's like, it's like being psychic and you kind of see the future or the possible future. And so a lot of songs, like when I mention the word psychic on the album, that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Sure.
It's just like paranoia. And does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And real quick, I think like we mentioned that you're younger than me, but how old are you?
I'm 16. Wow. I just turned 16 like a couple months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, but I started doing music in, I believe, August last year.
Yeah.
I started doing like the covers on my SoundCloud and stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, which I kind of like stopped doing just because I kind of don't like them anymore. I mean, it was like my first things that I did.
Sure.
Because like my first one that was Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana.
Yeah.
And I just I had like I never had a mic really, like a good one. I had a Rock Band mic for Xbox because it's a USB, so you can use it, but it sounds just like horrible. And shout out to Josh Bowman. He hooked me up with this mic that he had. It was a USB that he didn't use anymore. He was like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I have to like repay you." So I made him this like painting. Wow. 'Cause I also do painting, but I just and so he Mursa, who's in the studio right now, brought the mic from, because that's Josh Bowman is her brother.
Yeah.
And so she brought me the mic from Josh, and then that getting that piece kind of kicked off, like it was like the one piece of equipment that was like keeping me from actually making music, because I'd like written tons of songs before that and learned guitar and stuff like that. So that kind of kicked off starting making music, was receiving that microphone.
Yeah, dude. That's really powerful. That's how I got started. I got a
Right.
microphone, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I didn't know he did that. That's neat.
Yeah, dude.
I like
He's helped
Josh
me.
a
Yeah, I
lot.
know, dude. He's helped me out so much. Just like send him demos and critiquing him and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No, he knows music. Didn't he just move to LA?
Nah,
He's
he
just there.
visited LA, I
He
think.
was just visiting LA to work with some other artists, and he moved up to Portland.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Dude, he's making it in the world. I need to get him back on.
I know, dude. I
program.
think he just joined a new band.
Really?
They're called Mustard. Is that true?
Mustard. Sweet.
Yeah, yeah. I don't really think they have much music out yet, but yeah, dude.
Well, cool. So when you're making Psychic Prelude, it's an interesting to talk about the. I guess it's anxiety. I guess is what I would think it.
I see. That's something interesting about what I was kind of experiencing while recording this and writing it is I kind of like never even realized that I had anxiety until like super recently, because I never really understood what anxiety was. I always thought it was like shut in, like really introverted people that just like were nervous to go out and talk to people and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then I realized that you know, like, because I'm a huge extrovert, you know, like I love talking to people and going out and you know, being weird in public and stuff like that. But I kind of realized that anxiety was like kind of more just inside my head than what I was actually doing. And so, yeah, and I didn't really realize that that's what I dealt with. Cause like even coming here, I just like felt super nervous, even though like you know, I've been to your house many times. I feel super comfortable around you guys. I just felt it, you know?
Yeah, man.
So
it's weird to do. Like, I don't know. I didn't get nervous for this because I'm like, oh, this is my environment. But
right.
The last time I did with the Paper Wings, dude, like I was nervous before then because I'm like, well, how is this gonna play out? Yeah, I think
it's like people you never met before too.
Right.
Me and you go way back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a different level of, I don't know. There's a lot of, I think it's an interesting thing. We're about to have somebody walk in. I heard them. They're gonna come in soon. Oh, wait. Should we yell Polo? He just yelled Marco. Ray's
Polo.
got it. Oh. Sorry, guys. Interruption. But we'll keep going through. We'll power through.
Yeah, there's a little boy about to come in the room.
Yeah. I had something I was going to say. I think that, well, I mean, anxiety is like, there's like a biological cause for that, right? Like,
yeah,
it makes
like
sense.
chemicals. Yeah.
But it's sometimes like, why? Why do we get nervous about like things like this? It's like, well, we're just gonna talk. But I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm not a psychologist.
I know, me either,
psychologist or a psychiatrist.
That's what. Yeah, like because I just like never even
But-
knew like really that was something that I had, you know. And I've never even I haven't been like diagnosed by a psychiatrist, but like it's something that I just like I know that I deal with, you know.
Yeah. So when making Psychic Prelude, how did you like, other than the title, how did that kind of like play into it? Like, is that what you like? How did you start? Like, think of, oh, I want to, you know, you probably thought I want to make this project like a mini album,
Right. Well, sorry. I kind of I had like 10 songs or you know, around 10 songs that I had written that I kind of thought, okay, these are kind of cohesive in like sonically, you know, not necessarily what they're about was cohesive, but the way that they were written and sounded like were kind of cohesive. So and I would have probably ended up making all 10 of those songs, and but once I kind of realized, okay, so Paradiso, which is the first song, and then, you know, the other 4 songs like Your Hands, Head Against the Ceiling, and Forest Fire, all kind of represented, like, I kind of just was like looking at what each song meant, right? And that they kind of had like a correlation, and so I thought, okay, this is I like picked those 4 songs out because I realized, you know, maybe putting out a full album as my first full project would not be super great. It might be cool just to put out like a couple songs. And I always like the idea of a concept album, you know, like Pink Floyd's The Wall, classic concept album. And so I thought that, yeah, concept albums might be a cool thing to do. But, you know, I don't even know if I consider it a concept album, but you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, so what were you kind of like going for when making it? So you recorded those 4 songs, or those 10 songs, and you picked the ones you really liked out of it. Yeah, what were you going for when bringing those together?
Yeah, well, like I said, like I wanted to give, because right now I don't have. If you listen to the record, it's not the recording quality isn't like the sound isn't super like crazy good. Like it doesn't sound like a high production like major label album. You know, it's kind of lo-fi, and I know that eventually, you know, I'm still building my studio and I'm still trying to get the right equipment, but I had enough to where I was itching to like put stuff out, so I knew that I could maybe just do this kind of little project that's supposed to be like a sample of like what's to come. And so I think that those 4 songs kind of were a representation of what could happen eventually, because Paradiso is like all like poetry. Like I don't sing in that one. Mm-hmm. It's all like the rap poetry thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, someday I could go that direction, or I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I like that. I think that's cool.
Thank you.
I think that's a neat concept, because that's something I noticed, right? I'm an audio Nazi. I've been trained by, you know, the Freedom Fiends. That's what happens. That's our problem. So I notice when people have poor audio, but I'm like, well, it doesn't matter,
right?
Because you're just starting out, right? I think it's really valuable for people who, if you want to do something, just go out and do it.
Right.
If it's gonna suck, that's fine, right? You just do it, and it fails, and you do another thing, or you decide that, oh, maybe I don't want to do that, or you decide, hey, I really want to do this, and you just do it again.
Well,
make it better.
Yeah, because I was always one of the reasons why I think that all these things that we wanted, all these skits and stuff that we wanted to do, kind of never work out, is because a lot of the time we don't have a lot of the equipment sometimes, and the resources, and you know, the money a lot of the times, right? To make good skits, and so sometimes they don't work out. And I was always worried that, you know, like, why would I make music if the quality sounds good? Well, kind of someone, and I don't even think she knows this, someone who really inspired me to actually start creating stuff was Andy Beck.
Oh yeah,
shout out to Andy. She put out a song on YouTube, a cover. I don't even remember what the song is. I'd never even heard of it, but it was really good. And it was just, she set up her webcam, didn't have a microphone, just her piano, and played the song, and I like loved it. I was like, wow, this is like really good, even though she's not using a real microphone and just using her webcam. And so I thought, wow, if Andy could do that, then so can I, you know? So
yeah,
that was kind of what that was. That kick started that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I really liked it. When I was hoping she'd put out more stuff.
Yeah,
I told her I'd get her on the show if she put out more.
She is. I've actually been talking to her about, this is a Yakkin with Nick exclusive. Me and her have been working on writing a song together, like to put out like a single, just a single that like a collab between me and Andy.
That'd be really neat.
Yeah. And we wanted to put like a Christmas album together, which we totally are still gonna do. Like, we actually me and Andy tried to start a band a while back. With a bunch of friends. Yeah, we were called Orchid Society.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that Drew, who's in the studio right now, was the drummer for Orchid Society. And we're not broken up, are we? We're just on hiatus. We came out with one YouTube video, which was a cover of Pity Party by Melanie Martinez. Did you ever see that?
I don't know if I did see that.
Yeah, it's still on YouTube.
I like that song.
Yeah, me too, dude. And we did it in my music teacher's room at school.
Wow.
And just filmed it. But yeah, and a lot of the songs that I wrote that were part of this like 10 album were originally supposed to be Orchid Society songs. Like there was a song that we had called Lightning that was kind of like the one song that we did that we kind of had. That song kind of after we kind of went on hiatus, even though we never really kind of started, but we that song song Lightning eventually became Head Against the Ceiling, which is on Psychic Prelude. Yeah. My voice just cracked so hard. Oh my god. Oh
no. I didn't notice it. I'm losing my voice. I'm starting to get a sore throat, but
yeah, man.
Well, that's really cool, and that's something I don't know. I just get impressed by anybody who's making stuff.
Yeah.
If you're doing stuff, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, dude. I'm so proud of you, man, for this podcast. Because there was a lot of people that probably thought, this is never gonna last. This is a fad. The Nick's gonna. But look, how many years has it been since you started doing this?
Almost 3 in July.
See, like that's so sick. Like that means that you actually like this is like something you're calling. I guess like this is something that you were like meant to do is make podcasts.
Yeah, and thanks for saying that. I got lucky because I got encouraged to do it. Right now, I just got. Otherwise,
the voice cracked again.
Otherwise I wouldn't probably be doing it. I'd still be writing my blog, right?
Right. Oh, I remember that.
Dude, wow. What was that called? I think it was just Nick.H1. .edublogs.
Yeah. Didn't you post like the first couple podcasts on there?
Probably.
I think, yeah.
I at least posted the links.
Right. I remember
because I think I had my own website when I first. I don't know. But I got lucky and met the right people. Right, just said, hey, do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to do something? Here you go.
Well, yeah, like I feel the same way. Like for the Freedom Fiends guys, like I feel like that's kind of like Josh Bowman was for me, just because like he just did a lot of he was already kind of in the game, and kind of helped me out with that stuff. Yeah,
Josh is really neat. He's really cool. And I talked to him because I used to think like, man, I'm kind of interested in music, but I'm not musically talented, but I like rap and I can write. Like I thought, man, I can do it. I don't really want to anymore.
Right.
But he was really encouraging about that. He's like, dude, I think I might have recorded something and sent it to him, or maybe I didn't because I didn't like my voice.
Yeah.
I'm good for a podcast, but man, I can't rap.
Can't spit bars.
Nah, dog.
Yeah. Well, because that's funny because I remember because Marissa always makes fun of me for saying, she says I'm like obsessed with Josh, and well, because I used to just like really like his, because he started like his old band when he was in like high school was called Prepare for Impact.
Yeah,
they were like a screamo band, and back when I was younger, I was like so into screamo music and metalcore, if you will, and I know you like utterly hate that music, but
it's not my favorite.
You told me you wanted to send every metalcore band into the sun. Like you told me that we were in debate class for sure. I was super offended.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not as harsh as I used to be. But yeah, I was never a fan.
And I just remember like going to school and be like, Marissa, your brother's band is so cool. And she's like, I know. And I would like message him and be like, dude, check out my screaming voice. And I would send him like clips of me just being like, and I suck. And I was like, I want to make a metalcore band. And he was like, just do it.
Yeah. That's really neat. And that's something that Wilhelmina and Emily said too. I thought it was cool. It's like people were doing music. I'm like, yeah, dude, do it. Because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it.
It feels good. It's like a endorphin release to like release stuff. It feels good.
That's how I feel like about like recording a podcast. Like I get done doing something like this, and I get off the mic. I'm like,
nice.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is awesome.
Right.
And then but then like 2 hours later, I'm starting to think like, oh, was that really that good? But no, I get that. Like, and I think it's really cool to be able to express yourself. And
yeah,
I try to compare podcasting and music as like art forms, but
right.
it's, I don't know. It's different, obviously, because I'm not really going, I don't know.
I think podcasts are way harder. I've tried to start
Sure.
podcasts with August, who's in the audience, and they still might come out. They're called
Sure.
we started a
I think you told me
podcast
about
called Futon Time. Yeah, we would all gather on my futon in my bedroom and they suck. I think they're really funny. Just because I think that we're funny and I like get our humor.
Sure.
But they're so dumb. Like it's usually us just like yelling at each other for like being loud or like saying really racist stuff. Or like you can't say that on the podcast, but like no, but like I think podcasts are way harder than music, because music, like I know how to make music. It's hard to talk to people, I guess, and be structured, you know, like, cause you know, like I know like Yakkin with Nick is supposed to be a little more, it's a little less structured, and but you still have like notes and stuff, right? And, like questions prepared and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which we didn't really do. We just kind of like turned the mic on and started talking.
I've gotten pretty good at interviewing that I think of, at least I think I'm pretty good. I just think of things. I've got like a little bit of notes that I scribbled down one time because I thought there's a really good question to ask.
Yeah.
And I'll get to it eventually. Okay. But I usually
it's like do you believe in God? Like, just like super. What's your social security number?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'll get to it later. I like to wait for an organic flow in the conversation.
Yeah, dude, organic.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say, I remember, I don't remember whose quote this is, but I think it's really good. It's like painting or drawing is how we decorate space, and music's how we decorate time.
Oh yeah, I think LeBron James said that.
Yeah. Shout out to LeBron. He's in the audience still.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
LeBron. Yeah, I think I totally get that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so
I like that.
Yeah, and I think, and I feel the opposite way as you do. Like, podcasting's hard. Podcasting's easy for me. I know how to talk.
Yeah.
But music's hard. Because, yeah, like I said, I tried to make a little bit, but I lost interest. It's just not something I want to pursue.
Yeah, well, hey, man, I mean, this is another Yakkin with Nick exclusive, but I kind of talked about this on my Instagram last night, but I kind of like definitely have, oh, dude, Nick just spilled
don't
such mad Pepsi on the ground.
Oh, no.
Wow. Podcast ruined. No, I was kidding. No, the ants will get it. He's using a t-shirt to clean up. Nice.
That's the best I can do.
All right, anyways.
Do me a flavor live.
This is a little intermission.
Get me, like a small little thing of water with a rag.
Okay.
Thanks. This is
Thanks
the
for
worst.
being a doll.
Nick's podcast reputation is ruined right now.
Spill the Pepsi. Oh my goodness. That's why I hate doing this show, because I'm like, I always think like, could I edit and just say I didn't edit?
Yeah.
But I'm like, because I'm like, I made a commitment to myself not to edit.
Hey, it's funny. I think it's funny. Like,
okay, good.
The fans will love it.
Everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah. It feels, it's raw, dude. It's organic. Like I said.
Yeah. Some people are probably like, why isn't Nick drinking a Pepsi? Doesn't he hate
Yeah.
corporations and sugar? And I'm like, yeah, but my throat hurts, so I need soda.
Right. What was I saying?
I don't remember what we were saying. We were talking about I forget. You were talking, I think, or was I talking? I don't remember.
Yeah. We can cut this out. So the Yakkin with Nick exclusive. So pretty much like I'm like I have like a concept for like the next record.
Yeah.
Like I have a name, and like I don't. This is like pretty like it's so early, but like the I just want to talk about it because like I haven't really told very many people about it. But so basically, it's definitely like gonna be a lot more hip hop centric. Because I've gotten into like making beats and like producing a little bit more lately.
Cool.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you saw like the little video I posted on Instagram. Do you guys see the video of like the Darth Vader on the? Never mind.
I saw it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah. So I put, it's just like I had like a video on my Instagram of just, it was like a little Darth Vader bobblehead that I had but I played like a beat that I made in the background.
Sorry for all the noise, folks. It's so unprofessional, but it's all done now. We're all good.
It's raw. So I downloaded the 21 Savage drum kit and a Kendrick Lamar drum kit, and I've just been like sampling stuff, and I like been listening to like super old music and like kind of just putting together beats that I don't even know if I'll be able to get the rights to, because some of them are kind of I've used a lot of samples, but
yeah, I don't know what it's allowed, like if you can sample and not make money off of.
Yeah, well, I think because you can't do that, like
You can't.
you can't.
I'm asking.
Oh no. Yeah, I think you can.
Okay.
If you just make it Creative Commons and not the I forget what it's called, but then it's like there's a Creative Commons that I put on mine, which basically says that people
you did end up
can't.
using that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I do. Well, I do have a. I don't know if I should talk about this, but I do have the actual what's it called, the rights, like pending.
Copyright.
Yeah, the copyright. But they don't come in for a couple months, and I just like didn't want to wait, and so I just have the Creative Commons for right now. But I have it on the one where it says that you can do everything with it, but you can't make profit off of it.
Right.
So you can remix it and play it in whatever video. You just can't, like, if someone wants to use it in their music video, basically they'd have to like have my permission if they want to put it in there, and if they're AdSensed or something.
Okay.
But I'm not too worried about that right now. You know, like I don't think people are too like worried about stealing my music right now.
Sure.
But
Just wait, you're gonna blow up after this. All 60 fans I have.
Yeah, dude. There's 60 people that like regulars.
Yeah, I watched my downloads are going up a little bit, but
Nice.
like last week it was like 50, upper 50s, and this week the episode was like 62 or something.
Nice.
So
That's
it's
pretty
climbing
cool,
up
dude.
a little bit.
Yeah. So what I was saying about the new record, so I just want to, like, I'm super like hyped about this concept, so I just want to talk about it. So the title is yakisoba, like the, you know, like yakisoba noodles.
Yeah.
But it's an acronym, which is totally like I thought of the word yakisoba and then made an acronym out of it. It's not like I just happened to spell out yakisoba, but it stands for young and knowledgeable in such overwhelmingly bad ages. Does that make sense?
No, I guess it's...
so young and knowledgeable.
Yeah.
In such overwhelmingly bad ages. So it means like being like a teenager, but being smart in a world that just sucks. It's basically like what that means. And so I like had the concept for the album is just gonna be kind of like the life of the teenage life, you know, and I have, because I like each song that I was writing are kind of all this very rap-esque, and they're kind of more poetry-esque and longer, you know. So it's like there's not like such definite choruses. So I think a lot of these songs and like lyrics that I've written might end up being very rap-esque, and so it was originally going to be called Entitled Millennials Will Figure It Out, but I didn't want it to be just about millennials, but or the millennial stereotypes, because that's what it was going to be, because I feel like I mean, I don't want to get political, but I feel like a lot of it's Yakkin with Nick, dude. I feel like a lot, like, millennials get like a bad rap a lot of the time. Yeah. And you know, as like a millennial, I do feel that there is like stuff that we're known for that's definitely true, you know, like being kind of thinking we can do whatever we want, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either, you know, like it's confidence, but yeah, I don't know, like I think that every past generation like thinks that the new generation are like these dumb kids, because like think about our parents is, you know, like our parents are about the same age, you know, like they grew up in the 70s and stuff, you know, like think about what their parents thought in the 70s there was so much protesting, and
new rock music, right?
And you know, and like the Beatles, like and all this these new people with long hair and stuff. So I don't know, like that was like the original concept, but there is one song it's called Decade, like decade, but decay. I don't really like to do puns in songs, like, but I don't know. I really like that one.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna like I was gonna do this with Psychic Prelude if it wasn't an EP, but I really want to. I'm also really into like graphic design. Like that's something like I plan to go to college for.
Yeah.
Like I have an Instagram, Nash's Sick Visuals, if you want to check it out. Where I do like art. I think like wasn't the Ann Yak Facebook page like the banner?
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
Yeah, I think
one of
you
my
made
things?
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you made a new one for Yakkin with Nick that I haven't used yet.
Yeah. I was just messing around because usually I made like my dad's like his little like small business's logo just because
cool.
like I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
And I do it like all on my phone, but like I made the album cover for Psychic Prelude. I didn't take the photo, but I edited it and stuff and put it together. But and I want to make like a kind of like a graphic or like a I guess like a zine, if you want, you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of wanted to make like an art book to go along with the record, with like certain lyric quotes and stuff like that. One of my like really big inspirations is Frank Ocean, like which I don't know like if that would be suspected from listening to my stuff because it doesn't sound a lot like him. But I would say that he's probably like a person that in terms of creativity that I look up to a lot. And his most recent album called Blonde. Have you heard Blonde?
I may have heard a couple songs off him.
That was a dog.
Yeah.
That's like that was like my album of the year last year, and I you know like I consider it like to Pimp a Butterfly of R&B music.
Oh yeah.
But it's like that in a lot of ways, and it's very just it's super deep, and I kind of try to do stuff like that, like go beyond just a song that is just a chorus and verses is kind of like one of the things that he does that I try to do a lot because like I don't know if you remember on track 3 on Psychic Prelude, it's Head Against the Ceiling. At the end, there's like this conversation between me and like this robot therapist that I created. Her name's Akira.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, like on Bandcamp, like the song's called Head Against the Ceiling featuring my therapist Akira. Because I don't go to a therapist, but like I wanted to kind of do this thing where I'm kind of talking to a therapist. And I didn't have like another person to do a voice, and so I went out to Google Translate and I typed in what I wanted her to say, and I recorded it because you can do it to where she'll say it. You can like, because I wanted her to sound like Japanese, like a Japanese person speaking English. Because like if you look at any of the stuff that I make, I'm so like into Japanese culture. Like there's Japanese characters on like all my stuff, but but. Like you can make it to where the Japanese translation can speak English. So like she would be like, I don't want to be racist and you do a Japanese accent, but like she you know like it would say like English words in this like robotic Siri voice, but it was in like a Japanese accent. So I thought that was cool. And at first it was just my voice but lower. Like I lowered the pitch and I sent that to Josh again, and he was like Tyler the Creator like did that exact same thing.
Yeah, I know that song exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, shoot. And he's like, but I think you should still do the conversation thing, but just try to figure something else out. And so he just kind of thought that
a
up.
Good Tyler the Creator song.
I know, dude. That's like an intense song. I forget what it's called.
It's oh shoot, I think it's Bastard.
Yeah, it is. That was on
I forget.
It was on Wolf, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's either Golf or Wolf. I don't know.
I don't know
remember which one.
Yeah. But
Goblin. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think you're right. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah. Anyways. And so that was like a thing that I tried to do, was kind of make it a little more than just a song. Like especially with track 2, which is Your Hands. I felt like that song was like super kind of little too poppy, like just because it's not a pop song like at all. Like it's definitely just like an acoustic like alternative song, but I felt the way that it was written was like it's a verse and then a chorus and a verse and a chorus and another verse, like, and then like a end kind of outro bridge situation. And so I kind of tried to weave in some like weird clips and samples. Like at the beginning, there's like a clip from the Futon Time podcast. I just took like random clips of where we said like weird things.
Recognize people.
Yeah, and well, I sample August, who's in the studio, where right before the chorus, August yells, "Oh my!"
Yeah,
and then it's kind of like the breakdown of the song, and you know, like, and I don't know, Frank Ocean does a lot of stuff like that where he just kind of he'll write like a R&B pop song,
yeah,
and then do these things that just like make it so unique, you know, whether it's putting in a clip of something. Like there's a song that's kind of like an interlude on Blonde called Facebook Love Story, is that what it's called? And it's like it's just like kind of like a mellow piano like piano track with just this like French guy talking about how he got catfished, basically. Like Frank Ocean doesn't even talk on it or like say anything on it, and it's like a minute long, but it's like super cool because it just like puts this weird ambiance to the whole record if you listen to it from start to finish. Because like it's not really like a full song, and I like the whole interlude thing on albums. Like I like to think of like his Paradiso first song is kind of like an intro because it's only like a minute long. When it was 10 songs, Paradiso was an interlude, and it was going to be like in the middle of the record. But
yeah, I think it makes it interesting. Like I didn't used to enjoy them because when I listen to an album, I'm like, I just want to listen to music,
right?
But now I have a kind of a deeper appreciation, I guess, for this piece of work that the artist put out, and so it's just, I don't know, it's very interesting to have those, because it does. Like, and people have been doing it for a long time,
right? Yeah, like
funny,
the Beatles
skits and
yeah,
that's what Eminem did.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I like it too. I think it's interesting, and I think it makes it more than music, right? It's like, hey, this is there's something behind this, right? There's more to it than just, hey, I'm a good singer, I'm a good lyricist, whatever.
Well,
it is.
yeah, like have you ever listened to the podcast Radio Lab?
I think I've picked up a few episodes, but not very often.
It's about, they just talk about like just cool, like either it's like a events, current events, or some sort of scientific breakthrough or something. Just it's that kind of like social studies type podcast, I guess. Yeah. And but it's very high production, where they do a lot. It's almost like, I would say it's like a documentary, but in podcast form, like an audio documentary. It's
like This American Life.
Yes, exactly. But it's a lot like This American Life, but it's a little more conversation based. It's not like all stories. Like it'll be people talking, but then they'll cut and it'll be like a clip from a news story.
Sure.
Or like, just, and I think that turning like I don't even, music's not like my super number one passion. Like my like super top thing that I want to do is write comic books. Like you probably know that, and like I want to do a lot of different things, but music right now is just something I'm like I've been focusing on and something I'm trying out. So I want to like kind of merge them, like if I ever make a movie, like I want to make the soundtrack for it myself.
Sure.
And like I want to do the kind of visual art book to go along with the next record.
Yeah, man. I think that's cool. I think there's something to say about doing a lot of different things. Like a lot of people will give you advice to narrow down and do a niche. And that's how you get like famous. That's how you become, known for what you do, I guess.
Right. Well, you told me that like when like we were talking about doing Futon Time, we went to you, I think, and you said, like we wanted just to do like a comedy podcast, and you said like that's so hard because who wants to listen to like random guys? Because if Seth Rogen and James Franco make a comedy podcast, people are like, oh yeah, I love them from Pineapple Express and everything. Sure. And so they just watch, or they'll listen to it. But if it's four guys from Kings Valley, Oregon, like who's gonna listen to?
Who are these people? Yeah, and you have to have that competition. So in some ways, having a niche is very key like what I did with Yaks and Anarchy. That's a very
so
specific
Yeah.
niche, and even with Yakkin with Nick, I'm broadening it, but it's still, I don't know, maybe it's not really niche, but I think that there's places where that works both ways. Like I think, especially when you're young, I think it's really good to be spread out and learn a lot of different skills, like what you're doing, learning like how to make graphic design, how to draw, how to write stories, how to make music, and
like
all kinds of stuff.
Totally. Like my, you know, I said Frank Ocean's probably my biggest like musical idol or like person that I kind of I look up to. But in terms of just any person, and you probably know who I'm going to say, like
Josh Bowman.
No.
Oh, what are you gonna say? I don't know.
No, I was just gonna, because like I talk about him all the time, and you like say he looks like an African prince, but just
I
Gambino,
do know.
like Childish Gambino, like Donald Glover,
he's amazing.
is like just he does so much awesome stuff. Like all of it, you know, Community, his music, like it's all just like. It's like he does so many things, and I want to do all the things that he does.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like once in a lifetime, once in a generation, you know, there's someone like that.
Yeah, you know, that's an excellent example. Somebody who acts, writes music. He's a comedian.
Yeah, and is good at all of it.
Yeah,
yeah, you know, because
really
like
good at
Justin Timberlake is a great.
Alex is raising his hand back there.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, what?
He also does Atlanta, which is a really good television show, which he stars in and writes and like produces and directs everything for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen that yet, but
it's really good.
Just because it's him. And is it on Netflix?
No, it probably will be soon enough though. But
okay.
anyway, so he like he I forgot what I was gonna say.
You said something about Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah. So like so Gambino does everything, and he's good at all of it, right?
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake, like I like his, like, do you like Justin Timberlake?
I mean, I don't listen to him very often, but I find him, I like his a lot of his music.
Like I grew up listening to Justin Timberlake, and I think he's a great singer, and he makes really catchy songs, but you know, he's not a great, I mean, he's an all right actor, but like, you know, or like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Like he tried to do music, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of someone that does the other thing badly, you know, because he's like all right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who just have like who are actors and have started music careers and just doesn't really work out, or vice versa.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example of somebody who didn't have much of a musical career.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
But anyway, like it's just kind of it's like I don't know if I will be able to do everything in the future, obviously.
Sure.
But it's just something I'd like to try, you know, like 'cause if you look at like another, I have so many idols, and like I remember Marissa in the studio wrote a poem about me, and like, can I read it? Oh, sorry, can I read it?
I mean, if you really feel like you want to.
I really do. So is this okay? Can I read this poem?
Go ahead, do it.
So, like she sent me this, and I like cried because I just love it so much. All right. So this is Marissa's poem. Do you want to read it? No. Okay. Okay. It's like, I know an original human. His creation flows with grace. His style reflects his role models, but with his very own taste. He doesn't give himself enough credit for the amazing work he's done. His talent constantly amazed me. Please listen to his song. And I was like, oh. But it says like his style reflects his role models, right? Mm-hmm. And I just thought that like, I was like, yeah, like that is like my, like I do like, I got into all this stuff just because I love pop culture, and I love movies, and I love music and stuff. And I just want to be like Childish Gambino, you know, even though it's like, it sounds weird to say that, you know, because someday I might work with him or something, possibly, you know, and I don't know. I don't like to sound like I just like am this fanboy, you know, but I don't know. I definitely believe that it's good to like take a lot of, I know, dude,
room in the middle of a show.
Wow. Rude. I think that being kind of cultured is like really good for doing creative stuff like this, you know. And
definitely.
like I make sure that I try to listen to like all kinds of different music so that, it's like, look at Kendrick Lamar, like he was like a hip hop rapper and did trap songs, and then To Pimp a Butterfly comes out and it's like a jazz record, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like why, like, and it's awesome, and so like I try to go and like find music that's not, super great. Like I heard Frank Ocean's next single he's gonna put out is like a reggae song. Did you guys hear that? Like, I guess
snippet of, not of the song, but like like I've seen bits and pieces where people are like, what the heck?
Yeah, so I feel bad for talking about Frank Ocean so much,
Dude,
but I just love him.
Okay,
so like I guess it was John Mayer like heard Frank Ocean's like newest song that's gonna come out soon, I guess, and then he said it's like a reggae song, which is like it, Frank Ocean's like R&B, like pop music, and so it's just gonna be cool to see reggae. But like I've written reggae songs before too, and I don't know, I just try to. I think being cultured is like a good thing to be.
I think it makes it more fun. Like I try to listen to a very wide variety of music. I always come back to hip hop and rap. That's just that's just what I like. But
right.
Like I like listening to Mongolian throat singing.
Dude, like
it's insane.
That's legit.
They make cool sounds, Brady nodding his head. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I'll sample Mongolian throat sounds.
Please do.
And I'll have you on the record.
One of a rapper I interviewed, Aries.
Oh, Aries? Yeah. I remember that one.
He sampled,
Really? He sampled Mongolian throat sounds?
Yeah, dude, I was like, yes!
That's
I think I told him to do it too, maybe.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. Hey, August, thanks for disrupting the podcast. It's super cool of you to do that. You're just such a great guy.
We're coming up on almost an hour here. We're at 51 minutes.
Really? Wow.
I know it went by so fast.
Yeah.
But so real quick, I don't want to go too far over an hour. We'll probably do an after show. Right. But I wanted to ask you this question, and I kind of had a chance earlier when we talked about millennials. But I was talking to my friend Daryl Becker. Shout out to Daryl Becker.
Shout out to Daryl.
Yeah.
What's up?
He's we were talking about, and this is something he's brought up to me before, is he likes how do I say this? I don't I guess we're talking about young people and how young people get kind of a bad rap, like we were talking about with millennials have a lot of stereotypes, and the older generations don't really seem to respect us that much. And I don't deal with this so much anymore, but just because of my life choices, I dropped out of high school and I'm trying to farm. A lot of people were skeptical of what I was trying to do, and I feel like I got a lot of crap about being young and not knowing what I was talking about. Like I especially talk about politics and religion. That's what I like. That's philosophy. That's what I did for 2 years, and until I don't know, the last year or so, I definitely feel like most people, like, they don't want to hear what I have to say. And maybe it's not most people, but I get a lot of people say, like, well, Nick, you don't really know what you're talking about, like, because you're so young, because you don't have any
I'm so fired up.
Yeah, so I wanted to know how do you feel about that? Because I feel like it's pretty I feel like it's disrespectful. It's like, well, if you don't want to listen to me, dude, I'm not going to listen to you. Like, that's kind of where I'm like, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, totally. That's like the main idea for like yakisoba. Yeah, it sounds weird saying it out loud, but I always hate when I feel like I'm a pretty knowledgeable young guy. Yeah. Like I mean, I'm not some scholar, but I feel like I'm definitely like very mature, and I feel like my friends would say that I'm kind of like, especially like my guy friends would say that I'm like the dad of the group, right? I guess maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess not. No, but usually like when when I go out with my friends, I'm usually trying to keep them from, burning buildings down and stuff like that. So I feel like that, and I think I'm very responsible, but for whatever reason, because I'm 16 years old, adults and just everybody just assumes that for, in Nash, like I mean, people even said like, are you sure you want to put out an album when you're so young? You haven't had a lot of experience with music. I was like, Justin Bieber was like 12 when he started doing music. Like, I mean, Justin Bieber's way more talented than I am, but in my opinion, but like, I mean, people are like, no,
Like, I don't know.
I don't know, but I kind of, I don't know. Yeah. Like one of the songs is called Angst, and it's like the beat is sampled. Do you ever hear the 80s band Japan?
No.
Yeah, they're super like cheesy 80s, like, well, they sing like this and they're like The Cure kind of, and it's like this super like gross, creepy beat, and I got so angry one night because like all I heard from just people about whatever was happening was just like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Like even if I'm like right, it's like, even if I like can display that I know what I'm talking about, it's like people automatically just put you off because you're a kid, or because you're younger.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really frustrating, and I think it comes from that's just how kids have been treated forever. And so I feel like, well, that's how you're supposed to treat kids. Sour grapes.
Well, that's weird because when we back in a long time ago, when you were like 12, you were a man and you had to go to work, right? But did I don't know, like, did kids get the kind of respect that an adult does when they were 12 and had to do the same work as an adult?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I don't know, like, I feel especially, I hate it when people say, oh, I was so dumb when I was a kid. Because you might be actually dumb, like, but that doesn't mean that because you were a kid that you were dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, and the other thing that I hate the most is when, say one of my parents will say, well, I did this when I was a kid. It's like, well, just because you did something when you were a kid doesn't, you're like, no, I did dumb stuff too when I was a kid. But it's like, just because you did dumb stuff when I was a kid doesn't mean I'm going to do dumb stuff when I'm as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Cause I don't know. I think that, I definitely agree, I want to say, but one of the things I've found recently is that I really think experience has, there's some things that it really takes experience to learn.
That's true.
And I kind of realized that. And I don't know, because before I really had kind of a militant like feeling towards just like, how dare you tell me like that I'm wrong because I'm a kid or I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, listen to what I have to say. Exactly. Attack that. Don't attack my character. Right.
Totally.
And it's I still feel that way. I think that's very true. That there's, I don't know. It's just just because you're a kid doesn't mean that you're gonna be doing stupid stuff or that you're immature or that you don't have wisdom.
Totally. Well,
but often it means you do.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
It just so happens.
Yeah. I'm a pretty firm believer of that whether you're LGBT plus or you're what race you are or what age you are, none of that, nothing physically like that or culturally like that defines you as a person. What really defines, because that's a beautiful thing. I'm about to get so deep.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about being a human is that our brains are so powerful is that we can actually decide how we're gonna be. Because a dog doesn't think, I'm gonna actually be more like a cat today, or like, I'm just, a dog is a dog, and all dogs do similar things. But humans, we actually are able to kind of see what other people do and decide whether we want to follow in their footsteps or go a different direction.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And one of the things I wanted to bring up with that question is it's not just about advice, but sometimes, like, I used to get praise and a lot of it, I guess, I'm trying to think of what, because I'm thinking about back on this conversation I had with Daryl about, but I kind of felt also, how old people like want to give advice, and I think most people want to give advice, but I think especially to young people. And I've gotten better at not giving it advice, but like I always feel like I want to do that, and I thought I was going to do that today. I was like, well, Nash, you should like think about doing this, but now I just didn't come up in my mind. But so I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate advice, and I definitely take what people say to me not to the heart, but with and consider it. Like I consider it people like bring to me, if you say, hey, like, dude, that song sucks, you should not release that. Yeah. I'll be like, okay, like why? And then if you tell me and I agree, or because it depends on who it is too. Like I trust your judgment and your opinion too. Yeah. But I like in terms of just if advice is like, okay, like I definitely have a problem, and I'm sure the people behind me can totally agree that I like think I know what's up a lot of the time, or like I'll try to like say, well, if I did this, and that's something that I do that's kind of not super great, but that I should probably work on is just kind of like focusing on like, because I tried to do stand-up like a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I did like stand-up videos where like I would set up my camera and just kind of pretend I was like, and one of my routines was about being like, how like I think that there's two types of people in the world. There's people that like have to deal with crap, and the people that don't have to deal with the crap, and the people who don't have to deal with the crap have to deal with the other people's crap, right? So and I feel like, and of course I've had crap in my life just like everybody else, but I feel like just the way that I take it, I think that I am kind of meant to help other people, and that kind of sounds like I'm praising myself that I was meant to make the world better. But no, I feel like just I like my philosophy on why I just create stuff is because I want to be a person who like helps people emotionally and gives people kind of emotional and mental stimulation. I guess that sounds kind of weird, but because there's people who want to go and defend our country, and that's their way of giving back to the world, which is totally awesome and respectful, but that's just not me. Like I want to stay here and just to help people like have a good time during this horrible world. And I'll probably talk about that on Yakisoba, which is because it's the bad ages thing, so it's like the bad times. So
that's interesting. I think I can relate to a lot of what you're saying. And feeling like I like to give advice. That's one of my problems. And that's something interesting you brought up too, is why you like to produce content. And I ask myself all the time, why do I like doing this? It's like, well, I want to. Part of it is I like attention.
Yeah, me too.
Right? It's fun. Dude. It's fun to get attention. And it's also, but it's it's fun to share your thoughts, and you can like that you brought up that earlier in the show. And then it's also, if you're putting something out that's valuable, right? In more than just an entertainment way, that's really cool. And I thought that your small album was captured that really well.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so
I'm glad.
Right about an hour. Let's wrap up.
All right, dude.
Did you got any, I don't know, initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts?
Yeah. I mean,
final thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, initial thoughts, this sucked. No. So final thoughts, I think this was really cool, dude. Cool. I've never been on a podcast before. So
thanks.
I mean, someone else's podcast, I guess.
Sure.
But
yeah, thanks for coming on. It was really fun. Totally. And actually, I'll throw it over to anybody that have questions in the audience. If you don't, that's fine. Let me talk until you maybe think of something. No? Okay, it's fine if you guys don't have any questions.
I can give you advice about questions.
Yeah, ask.
Everything coming to mind is inappropriate.
Oh, how dare you. We'll do. I think if you guys are interested, we'll do a little after show. I don't know if I'll release it, but it might be like a Patreon episode, which is why, if you liked what we just talked about, you should go to patreon.com/just Yakkin, JUSTYAKKIN. Oh, August has a question now, and go ahead.
So,
get up on the mic.
Nash, you were talking about like making soundtracks to your movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about doing it in unconventional ways? Like that's like people might think of, but like, what if you wrote a comic book and made like music to listen to while you read it?
Yeah.
Have you thought of that?
Well, there's a comic book that I really like called Spud and The Indisposable, I think is what it's called, or it's called Spud, and it's about this this world where like you can rent robot assassins out of vending machines, and it's a great comic. It's like a comedy. It's really awesome. But as you read the comic, it'll be like play Don't Stop Believing by Journey during this fight scene or whatever, you know. And yeah, I've totally thought about that while doing, you know, like my any sort of story I've written or anything like that. I've thought about putting that in there. Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Good memes.
Any other questions? Cool. Yeah, why don't you tell people where we can find you? Instagram, Facebook, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, or whatever.
I have a Bandcamp, like I mentioned earlier. It's
all of these things will be linked, by the way.
Yeah, so my Bandcamp is Nash.TXT .bandcamp.com and my Instagram is at Nash and then a period and then the word dot and then another period and then the word text spelled out like TEXT. It should probably be a little less complicated, but like it couldn't just be like Nash. But so and my SoundCloud is, I don't remember what my SoundCloud link is, but you can find it in the link below.
Yeah, we'll find it. All right, and you just listened to Yakkin with Nick, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna make you guys wait through while I give my outro because I don't want to record it later. But if you'd like to help out, if you like conversations like these and you'd like me to have more, it'd be really great if I could make a little bit of money at it. I'm poor and and I don't have any, and it costs me money to do this show. It'd be great if I could at least make that back. So if you'd like to help me out in that way, like I said earlier, patreon.com. That's patreon.com/JUSTYAKKIN. Patreon.com/justYakkin. If you also like to help out the podcast in other ways, a really fantastic way is to hop in my Facebook group. Give me some feedback. I have a Yakkin with Nick feedback group. If you look up YAKKIN, no G, Yakkin with Nick, no G. On Facebook, you'll find it. Hop in there. I'll put a link. I'll start putting the link in the show notes. Hop in that group. Let me know what you think. If you want to respond to an episode or just tell me, hey, you should do this episode. Hey, let me know. Hop in the group or email me at yakkinwithnick@gmail.com. That's spelled the same way, YAKKIN with Nick @gmail.com. And then also, if you'd like to help out, please leave a review on anywhere you can. iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever it is. I really appreciate it. And that's all, folks. I will talk to you some other time. Thanks for coming on, Nash.
Thanks, man.
And thank you for the audience. You guys were very nice.
And obnoxious and loud.
Yeah, there was a lot of background noise, but it's okay. All right.
Peace out.